to JR the Bossman Show. We're joined by the new coach of the Cal Poly Mustangs, John Smith in the Bossman Show. Coach Smith, how are things out there at Cal Poly?
Things are great, JR. Things are great. Thanks for calling. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, I wanted to get your thoughts on what does it mean to you to get this head coaching job at the D1 level. You've been a head coach at the JUCO level, but now you got a D1 gig. So how does this feel that all the hard work you put in over the years has really paid off, and Cal Poly believed in you, leading their program going forward?
It's a great feeling. It's a surreal feeling. I got into coaching a long time ago just to change kids' lives. I was a high school coach starting off, thought I was going to be a high school counselor for the rest of my life. And, ended up here. Just the process has taken me here. From high school to junior college to associate head coach with a good friend of mine, Dedrick Taylor at Cal State Fullerton, to now here. So I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to continue to try and change kids' lives at this level.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, I know that the Dedrick Taylor has been really important to you. He's a great guy, great friend of mine off the air. What's he meant to you in your career personally, professionally?
Words can express, how thankful and how grateful I am of Dedrick. He and I go way back. When he first got into the business as an assistant coach, I was a head JC coach, and, he came down and recruited my program. And long story short, he needed a point guard, but I told him if he got my point guard, he would get, his best friend who was a 6'6" wing who was, one of the best in the country. And sure enough, he got them both, and they went from last in the conference to first place in the conference. And Dedrick called me right away and said, if I ever get a head coaching job, you better be ready because you just helped my career a great deal. And just to show you the how true of a man he is and character-wise, as soon as he got the job at Cal State Fullerton, my phone rang and it was Dedrick, so I answered and I said, hello. He's like, are you coming? And that was like 15 years later, but that's how true of a man he is. He's a phenomenal young man, and I'm thankful and grateful for him in my life.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, when it comes to your program here at Cal Poly, are you going to be trying to recruit high school seniors, international guys, JUCO guys with your background, grad transfers or transfers have to sit one and play 1, 2, or 3? How many years you have left to go?
I think it'll play out from year to year. Like I said, in my press conference and everything, is that I never want to get too old and I never want to be too young. So whatever balances out, but we'll start out with a lot of 4-year guys, high school guys, at Cal Poly. But if we need to fill in a void, like this year, we're probably going to fill in a void with the grad transfer, hopefully here, and then that'll open up some more scholarships for the 2020 class, which I think is deep throughout the country. We were just in Atlanta looking at some kids, and so I just want to make sure we have enough scholarships for the 2020 class and start with high school guys, in 19 and 20, and then fill it out there that way.
And how was your trip to Atlanta? I know I'm not there currently right now, but how was your trip to Atlanta looking at these players this weekend?
It was good. I think the EYBL does a phenomenal job of organizing and running a great tournament. We were able to see a lot of talent, as well as another tournament, terrific 24, ran by Dinos Trigonis, who I've known for a long time. So it was good for me. I just finished out, typing up some notes from the weekend and sending it over to our assistant coaches to put on our board. So it's been good.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, I know, but you've been hired early. You've been able to kind of get on the court with your guys a little bit, see what you can evaluate what you have in-house already. So how's that process been going so far for you?
So far, so good. We've been getting our 4 hours in on a weekly basis, trying to get a feel for the guys. And right now it's just a filling out process. They really don't understand the type of demands that will be on the floor once we really get going. But I just want to assess how they are from a skill set standpoint and then decide how we're going to play around their skills. I never want to be a type of coach that just runs a system. My system has got to be formulated around the type of players that we have.
I think that's a great point you make, because sometimes too many coaches are married to their system rather than adapt defensively and offensively to what they have on the roster at that current point in time. They just want to force feed their system down players' throats, and it doesn't work. It ultimately gets them fired, and their players frustrated as well, or transferring out of the program.
Yeah, exactly. My brother, who's a longtime WNBA coach, he was also my coach as a senior in college, and he's always taught me that, you never try and fit a square into a circle, so just, play with what you have and play to their strengths and demand that they play hard on the defensive end, and you should be fine.
And, Coach, looking at non-conference scheduling-wise, I know you probably have to play some guaranteed games, but beyond the guaranteed games you have to play, how do you go see what's going about the schedule going forward here in 19 and 20 and 20 to 21 and beyond?
When I got here, the schedule was pretty much already set, but, we always want to try and play the best competition that we can from different conferences, and preferably on the West Coast so we can save budget traveling wise, and let our alumni base get a chance to see our guys throughout the country on this side. But we'll play some Pac-12 teams, some WCC teams, and some teams that are similar to who we are throughout the preseason. But always trying to look to challenge ourselves to get prepared for our conference.
Yes, indeed. I know it's one thing. Diedrich is very high on player development. I had on Danny as well. He talked about player development, how Diedrich press player development. So I know at Cal Poly, you're going to definitely push that same button of player development. And I know you kind of get a feel for what kind of guys you have. So have you started kind of making those development plans for your players for the summertime and fall here as we get in the semester here?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, have you started to make development plans for your players for the summertime and fall? Because I know player development was big at Fullerton under Diedrich, and Danny talked about it in Montana State. He's going to do the same thing as having player development be a key piece of his program. So how you see yourself going about the development piece of your guys mentally, physically, and emotionally as well?
Yeah. We've already started putting together the whole summer, especially since we're going on a foreign tour this year, but our main focus will be skill development and just concept development, just how we want to play out of certain concepts, as well as the physical and the mental part. We have a sports psychologist on campus that works with the guys, and then we have an unbelievable strength and conditioning coach here. So we've mapped it all out for the whole summer, and hopefully it flows into the regular season well.
Yeah, and that foreign trip, where you guys going at from foreign trip there?
We're going to London.
Nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
So you're playing the Great Britain national team or some colleges over there?
Yes. Well, I don't know which teams we're playing yet, but I'm sure we'll be playing some teams of that caliber.
Yes, indeed. Now, also the Big West is a league. I tell you what, this year's a pretty good race in the league with Fullerton, UCI kind of ran away from it with Irvine and Rosanna, those guys. But every night in the Big West is always a tough matchup. And just talk about that as a league, because I watch you guys on ESPN3. I see what you guys are doing out there. I know it's late night for me when I'm watching it, but I still watch them a junkie like that. So, but how tough is that league, man?
Yeah, I mean, you think about the coaches that we have in this league. Mark Gottfried, who coached at UCLA, won a national championship, and has Jim Herrick on his bench. You have Deidre Taylor, who coached with Herb Sendek. You have, a ton of coaches that have a great deal of experience. Munson, Turner, Russ Gannott, and you look at and Jim Les. I mean, you look at David Patrick. Everybody has had a history of success wherever they've been. So the coaches here, night in and night out, you're in for a dogfight, and they do a hell of a job preparing their team. So it's a great, for those of us that get into coaching and love the chess match, this conference is just that. It's a chess match every night, and it's phenomenal. It's great to prepare for it, and I look forward to it this year.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, I want to ask you what some rule changes maybe because I was covering the NIT this year, and I kind of saw how they did use the expanded lane, the three-point line, being stand a little bit there. We setting the fouls at 5 after 10 minutes of the half there, and I'm thinking maybe extend it, maybe do the 20-second shot clock or advance the ball at the end of the game. What are your thoughts on the rules they're trying to change for the game and kind of experimenting in the NIT? Do you want to see them implement it fully in D1 going forward?
The only one that I would love to implement is probably going to 4 quarters and advancing the ball during the timeout. You know, we're the only basketball entity that still plays halves. I mean, when you look at it, you know, high school plays quarters, women play quarters, pros play quarters, but men's college basketball is the only one that plays halves. And so I would like to see that change, but also advancing the ball, you know, it helps elevate that chess match that I was talking about. If you can advance the ball during timeouts late in the game and you know, diagram a sideline out of bounds play to put pressure on the team to stop you. So those things are things that I would love to change. And, you know, they're talking about speeding it up with you get offensive rebound, putting the shot clock at only 20. And, you know, I would like to see that as well, you know. So, but, you know, those are probably the only ones that I would want to see changed.
Now, Coach, I think with the quarter thing is really good. Say, for instance, you're down big at halftime. You can say it's cut it by the end of the third quarter, not in 10 minutes of the second half. I think that mental mindset of having a quarter, another quarter to go, get the league down, helps the guys, those young men at halftime, not be so down by 15 or 20 going to that break there.
Exactly, and I'm always talking to our guys about compartmentalizing their life, and you know, basketball is a metaphor for life, and breaking it down in quarters compartmentalizes that. You know, you just focus on one quarter at a time, you know, and it helps them with not putting so much pressure on themselves of thinking about the whole 20 minutes. You know, you can break it down better that way. So that's why I like the 4 quarters.
And, Coach, that's what I got for this. I know when you get a new job, it's crazy. You've hired working 18, 20-hour days. So how has these days been meeting with the 8 athletic departments, presidents, the boosters, alumni, players, people in the community want to come and by and see you? How's that been?
It's been crazy. It's been a good crazy, though. You know, the fortunate and unfortunate part is, you know, my wife hasn't moved up here yet, so I'm living in my office pretty much, so I get a lot of work done. I'm traveling a lot to meet different donors, and then at the same time, I'm preparing for the summer. You know, and I'll still do the same when my wife is in town, but she would just be right next to me helping me with that. She's been phenomenal in my career, but you know, it's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind, though. You know, you're right. It's been about 18-hour days for me.
I can only imagine, Coach. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad you got the gig there. I love to see African-American coaches get jobs in college basketball. We need more African-American coaches in the game. I feel like we lost a little too many this year, so I'm glad to see you. You're one of the ones that we gained, and so I'm hoping we get more down the road, Coach. I wish you success at Cal. Probably look forward to talking to you again down the road. And, you know, like I said, I love your old boss. I love your assistant, Danny. So we'll definitely keep you guys in mind as well and talk to you guys. If you're in the ATL, let me know. We'll definitely link up for some Waffle House, man.
There we go. Sounds good. I appreciate you, JR. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Coach Smith. Thank you again.
All right. Take care.
No doubt. Folks, that's John Smith on the Bossman Show.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, enjoy the Bossman Show. Fresh out of workouts is the coach of Southeast Louisiana Lions, Coach David Kiefer. Coach Kiefer, how are things down there in Hammond, man?
Man, it's going great. Just had a great workout. Felt like we won the day today. A long way to go, but you know, just trying to establish our culture. You know, took over for Coach Ladner. Was an assistant for him for the past couple of years, and we got a great thing going down here that he left me. But just trying to establish what what we're going to do this upcoming season.
Yeah, we had on Coach Ladner last week, and he talked very highly of you and the program he left behind. So tell us, Coach, you've been the coach of Southeastern Louisiana. How does it make you feel? Because I know it was a long-time assistant, and now you're the head man now. So being lead Southeastern Louisiana, how do you feel about this now, knowing that you're the guy in charge?
Oh, man, it's really, man, a dream come true. You know, this is ultimately something that knowing at a young age that I wanted to coach and knowing that the ultimate goal was to be a Division I head coach. Didn't know it was going to come this early or young in my career, but you got to take advantage of the opportunity. And, you know, I can't sit here and be in awe very long because there's a lot of things that are thrown at you on a daily basis. So, but I'm just really excited about the challenge and got a great group of young guys. So, you know, like I said, just a dream come true. And I can't be more thankful for Coach Ladner for setting me up like this and preparing me for this day.
Yeah, because I know being associate head coach, you have a lot of responsibilities more than most assistants do on the staff. So I know being in that role really helped you prepare to be the one to make the decisions now. Because I know you was giving suggestions previously. Now the buck stops with you. You make the final decision rather than just the suggestion.
Question. Yeah, no question. No, it's a whole lot different now. Sitting a couple seats down, it's real easy. You know, sitting at the hallway and suggesting, "Oh, coach, do this and do that, and do this." Or I do this, but you know, now it's my turn to make every decision, and you know, it's a whole different feel when everything, like you said, the buck stops with you.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, when it comes to recruiting down there to Southeastern Louisiana, will you be looking at high school seniors? Will you be some international guys, grad transfer guys, JUCO guys, and maybe a transfer where you have sit 1 year and play 1, 2, or 3 for you?
Really everything. You know, we're going to be one of the youngest teams in the conference next year. The last 2 years, we had 13 seniors, I believe, and this upcoming season we're going to just have one. So, you know, most teams in the country, especially one big leagues, win with senior-oriented teams, and by no means are we coming into the season preparing to lose by any means, but we're going to be young, and I kind of like it that way, so I can, you know, mold our young guys and you know, keep them together for the next couple of years, because I think that's kind of how it's won, is getting older together and getting a lot of experience. Got a chance to sign a couple older junior college guys and transfers, but I kind of just passed on the opportunity. Want to stay young. I like our freshmen and our sophomores, so just gonna go in the season with young and try to learn and get better every single day.
And Coach, that also means a big piece for his player development, Coach, because I know that the summer's going to be very important for developing these players mentally, physically, and emotionally. Get these guys ready to play come the fall here.
Yes. Player development, skill development, all that stuff is huge, man. We just, like I said, just finished workouts about 5 minutes ago, and trying to take advantage of every little workout we can. You know, next week is the week before exams, and then the following week's exams, so we can't do anything on a mandatory basis. And then the guys leave till the summer session starts for about 4 weeks. So we're just trying to get every single thing in before we can, before the guys leave, and just trying to set the tone of how we're going to come in this summer and just come ready to work.
And having 4 hours now, you can do some actual individual drills, some team stuff, implement actual schemes or what have you. So I know having the 4 hours, giving 2 extra hours, really going to help you guys for is development. Because I know being a new head coach, you want to put your spin on things. You need that time to put in what you want to put in, so the guys will be ready for you come fall semester there when it starts in August.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. The 4 hours is huge. You know, you don't really want to go over 4 hours because you don't want to overdo it so far away from the season. But you know, if you're a Division I athlete, you're always Division I athlete. So you got to make sure you're staying in shape, you're getting your shots up, and working on the little things. You know, we talk about to our guys that right now is the time that you're allowed to be selfish. This is a team sport, but right now is springtime off season. So it's all about being selfish and getting yourself better and improving your craft. Not only working on the things that you're not good at, but working on the things that you are good at, and not neglecting those things. But you know, just like I said, every day bringing it and, being selfish and getting yourself better during this time.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, when people watch you guys play next year, what do you want them to take away from watching Southeastern Louisiana playing out there under you now at the helm?
Oh, I want us to be the hardest playing team in the country. Everybody obviously, says that, and we just talked about that with our guys as they leave the gym, some of them barely being able to walk, but all of them loving it. And, I just really want our teams, like you said, I want people leaving that gym and saying, wow, Southeastern Louisiana, they sure play hard. We're going to make a ton of mistakes, and this is my first year being a head coach, and I'm going to make mistakes. The guys are going to make mistakes, but I don't ever want it to be based off effort. Our effort, I always want to be the most competitive team, and my goal is to be the best defensive team in the conference if we can do it.
I hear that. It's all start at the end of the floor because no matter now if you miss some shots, if you can defend and stop them from scoring, you still be in the game.
No question.
Now, Coach, are you going to be a guy that kind of plays an 8 or 9 man rotation, or are you more of a short rotation?
Well, I think that we kind of just let the season and our guys dictate that themselves. I think since I've been here, we've kind of played 8 or 9 guys, and I think that is a good rotation. But every team is different, and we'll kind of as team practices start to come and games start to come and we get a feel for how guys are going to play in the game and whatnot, I think we'll just kind of take that as it comes.
I hear that. Now, Coach, non-conference schedule-wise, down in the Southland Conference you have to kind of play some guarantee games, raise money for the school, which is understandable. Beyond those guarantee games, what kind of games are you trying to play in non-conference for your guys going forward with your team being so young?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We're allowed to play 4 non-Division I games. We're going to play 2 or 3, I believe, just to get some home games. It's so hard to get home games when you have to play guarantee. And this year they've added 2 more conference games. So we went from 18 to 20, and that's going to be the first time we've done that. So that's shortened our non-conference schedule. But we've got our guarantee games, and we also got we try to play all the Louisiana schools if we can. We'll be playing at Louisiana Lafayette. It was part of a 3-year deal that we signed. We're in the 3rd year deal of that, and we're in the 3rd year deal of a 4-year contract with Grambling. So we want to kind of continue what Coach Ladner did and try to play all the in-state schools if we can, and it makes sense, I think.
And Coach Kiefer, who are some coach individuals who really help mold you as a coach and get you to the point you are today?
Well, I would say first and foremost, Coach Ladner. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Coach Ladner. He hired me first at Jones County Junior College as an assistant about 7 years ago, and he gave me another opportunity to be a Division I assistant here. So first and foremost, I got to give the shout out to him because I wouldn't be where I am today. But also mentors in my life, Frank Martin, University of South Carolina. I was a student manager for him at Kansas State when he was there, and also the video coordinator at University of South Carolina. He's been very close in my life. My high school coach, Randy Schumann at Bocasaga High School in St. Petersburg, Florida, and my dad, who's coach for he's in the business side of the world, but he also coached high school basketball, volunteered for over 20 years.
I hear that. Coach Martin's a great guy. I love him because of the show. He always gives us something that we can use to help us in our lives
awesome.
Always.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And Coach, the Southland Conference is a league. I'll tell you what, it's a tough league. People don't really know how hard the ball you guys play down in the Southland Conference, man. From New Orleans to Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin, you guys. Mm-hmm. It's always a tough game in the Southeastern Conference, and you're adding 2 more games to it. I didn't know that. So as a league, it's tell our listeners how tough a league this is to play when the conference play starts. Every game is a dogfight in that league.
Oh, no question, man. And everybody probably feels like that with their conference. But, I can just go off experience and what I know. Since I've been in this league, it's gotten better every single year. And I kind of give a little bit of that credit to Brad Underwood, who used to be at Stephen F. Austin as a previous coach when they went about 69-2 in conference play in a couple of years. And everybody else in the league just trying to get better to match them. And they've hired really good coaches, and teams have just kind of got better to try to catch up to them. And from top to bottom, man, the last 5 years it's got tremendously better. And just really good coaches. And, it's just every game, like you said, every game is a battle and a dogfight.
And Coach, look, I'll come to NIT this year with some of the route trainings they had for like the resetting the fouls at 10 minutes in the half, the wide in the lane, 3-point shot. I'm a big NBA guy. I cover the Hawks as my main gigs. I see advancing the ball in the games, shorten shot clock, resetting it at 14 after the ball's rebounded offensively. So, what's some rules you want to see them maybe changing in the college game? Maybe go to quarters after seeing what they're doing with the NIT experiment this past season?
Oh man, I don't really, not a big fan of quarters. I kind of go back and forth with the whole advancing the ball. When you're on defense, you don't want them to do it. When you're on offense, you wish they could. So, me just being in my first year head coach and not having really had to have any experiences of having to deal with those situations in the head coaching role, it's not really fair for me to answer that question just because I don't really know. And to be honest with you, I don't care too much. Is whatever the rules are, whatever I say, they ain't gonna change it for me. So I kind of just we'll do what they want. I know I wouldn't be a big fan of the shot clock being any shorter, just because I think that kind of helps us to teach the game a little bit. And any shorter with it's not the NBA where you got guys that can dribble the ball before and make 30-foot shots contested. If they do that in college, the talent level is not as good. So I just don't think you would see the good offense that would be running, and I think it just would come down to a lot of one pass shot or no pass shot. I'm not a big fan of that. I think the 30-second clock is good enough.
And, Coach, for my listeners out there who want to maybe see you guys play and want to come down and watch you play, I want to ask Coach this question. What's some good places to eat when they come to Hammond to watch Southeastern?
Oh, man, a bunch of good places, man. They got Tommy's Pizza with the sweet sauce on there. You got to ask for the sweet sauce right downtown. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Our Mom's Hamburgers, great hamburgers, both places downtown. There's a new steak joint, 131 Steakhouse that's real good. They got this is Louisiana down here, down by the bayou. So we got that's all there is down here is good food. You can't have more than enough places down here.
I hear that, Coach. My listeners love to eat, so I know I give them the hook up on the food, man. They love to eat around here, man.
Come on, just tell them to hit me. There's tons of spots down here, man.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach Kiefer, congrats on getting this job, man. Thanks for your time today. Look forward to talking to you again down the road.
I really appreciate it, man.
No doubt, Coach. Anytime, feel free to come on the show. If you even got a kid from Atlanta you recruit or want to bring into your program, let it have him on the show. So, like I said, a lot of coaches come here trying to find players. So, a lot of players here, Coach. You come on up here. We got somebody you can use one way or another, man.
Oh, I already know. I really appreciate you having me. That means a lot.
All right, Coach Kiefer. Have a great day, man. The best luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, there's David Kiefer here on the Bossman Show, people.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love. Somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, in the jar, the Bossman Show, standing in the OVC. My conference, as you all know, I'm a TSU alum, and joined by the new head coach, SIUE Cougars up in Edwardsville, Illinois, Coach Barone, the Bossman Show. Coach, what's up in Edwardsville, man?
It's a gorgeous rainy day, but a lot of smiling faces getting ready for finals next week. So it couldn't be a better day.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, the good thing about you getting this gig is a lot of players know who you are already. It's not a big adjustment for a lot of the guys who's recruiting, guys on the roster, so they know who you are. So how's this little period been, kind of get the guys, working them out a little bit, kind of get a feel for what you got, keeping guys around? How's that process been for you so far?
It's been great. It really has been. It absolutely, being around a team that already knows me and we know each other. The biggest asset that we're bringing one another and that I'm bringing to these guys is that I've had a relationship with them. Sometimes coaches don't have relationships with their guys. Unfortunately, it's something that, I was taught when I was young through my dad and all his coaching that, you better have a relationship, and it better be genuine, because you're going to give them messages, good and bad sometimes. And those are the kind of guys that are going to go to fight for you, and you're going to fight for them. So the adjustment's been great. I haven't really stopped since I've gotten the job, but I'd rather have it that way than any other way.
You got that right, Coach. I know sometime when you're the assistant coach, you're the guy they vent to about the head coach wanting to play more.
Yep.
So how does that work there since you moved up a seat now, so then they can't vent to you anymore because you're the guy making the calls now. Not kind of say, let me talk to coach about this and suggest the coach to play you a little bit more here or there, give you a different set here or there. How's that part been so far?
I think you know what I do? I sometimes try tricking them. I go sit in my old office, and then they come vent to me about me, and they don't realize I'm the head coach. I go over to the office and the head coach's office, and then I yell at them for talking bad about me. But that's not. No, it's been really good. It really has been. I think in my role as an assistant, I've not been a yes man, and I always had respected the authority of the head coach and respected that ultimately the decisions were made from that office. And when they come to me, it's as you get older in this profession, you're able to balance those and navigate those tough conversations where there are some frustrations, but there's also a message that has to be unified coming from the office of, okay, ultimately let's stand back and see what we can all do better. Where can you be better before you're going to present a solution or present a problem going forward of any grievance. And that has been part of my relationship with these guys. So I think they understand that, they still can come to me, but even last year and the year before, they had to come to me with a solution and not just a problem. And that's one thing that has really helped with this adjustment.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, also now the buck stops with you now. You're the man making decisions. It's not a suggestion you're giving to Coach Harris anymore. Now it's, hey, Coach Barone decision now. So how's that part of it been?
It's I've had a lot of, when I was at Green Bay, I was associate head coach, and we had great success, and I had a lot of say. And, here the last few years, I really, had a lot of say in a variety of things. But the difference is you have all the say now. And, sometimes I could present a problem and a solution, and, hey, here, now I didn't have to make the decision. And now it's just every decision that has to be made in terms of, and really everything, when should the players come back? When are we starting lifts? When are we, doing the housing and all that kind of stuff? So the time gets away from me some days, but the organization, having a great staff, has really been helpful in that regard.
And, Coach, I talked about a little bit off the air with you that the location of Edwardsville to St. Louis makes it a good prime spot because you might be in Edwardsville, Illinois, but you're not really that far from a big city, say St. Louis. So you can sell that to guys and say, hey, St. Louis is right over the river from us. You got a great area for basketball, a great area to kind of enjoy life and experience life as well. And a lot of OVC schools like that with Austin Peay, not too far from Nashville, Tennessee Tech a little bit farther away. You got different schools in OVC, Belmont, TSU right there in Nashville. So, in OVC, a lot of good towns, a lot of schools within drive distance of a nice city. So, guys can come play at OVC school. Also, get a good second chance as well, Coach, because you can guys get JUCO guys, grad transfer guys, international guys, high school senior guys, and a sit guy and play 2 or 3 for you.
Absolutely. I mean, the location is prime, like you said. It's great for so many reasons. When you're educating somebody on, what we're about, here's my vision, here's what I want to do. You allow them to envision where we are located just by simply saying, hey, we're right next to St. Louis. Our guys' apartments, actually, you can see the arch from our campus. That's how close we are. But there's also that college atmosphere because we are kind of separated enough by the river and things like that. But you're dipping into the Indianapolises, the Chicagos, the Memphis, you get down to Nashville. All those areas are just prime spots that other people want to be at too. And, it's a huge selling point. The OVC is a great conference, 2 teams in the tournament this year, 2 wins in the tournament. Edwardsville is a great community, has great support. It's a sports crazy area. I mean, you got the Cardinals, you got the Blues. So people are educated sports fans as well. And, you couple that with the education that we have and a great institution. I have a lot to sell here. I really do. And it's exciting because I'm not, I'm a creative guy. I like to think outside the box. But the reality of it is I can walk outside my door and there doesn't need to be a whole lot of creativity sometimes. I just have to speak the truth. And that's more than some places I've been and more than some places have.
Yes, indeed. You kind of remind me of Northern Kentucky because I know John Brennan right there in Cincinnati would just say the same thing you just said. Cincinnati's right across the river from us, 7 miles away from Cincinnati. So, you're in Kentucky, you're not that far from a nice place in Cincinnati if you want to go that route. So, I think having that good college lifestyle in a small town, college town, but have that big city right across the river helps sell it. And plus, you're in a great area, great education, and plus you're in OVC where even though Belmont, Austin P, and those guys have been good for years, it's opportunities to leapfrog them if you get the right guys in there.
Hey, you're absolutely right. You really are. The conference has a tradition. Edwardsville has a tradition. I mean, granted, it was Division II, but there was great success here. Elite Eight runs and very good teams. Whenever you have a place that has tradition, no matter, what level it was, that shows that it can happen again, and that shows that it will happen. And my energy and passion and enthusiasm for where we're going to be and the work ethic that myself and my staff and my team's going to have, we want to be that team when you're talking to somebody else, you're talking about Edwardsville and how good of a league it is because look what Edwardsville is doing now these last few years. And, I'm excited about that challenge. And I'm also, blessed to have this opportunity. I definitely know that.
And, Coach, these workouts you have in these 4 hours you have now that you had this spring come up in the summer here, player development is going to be very key. So you see us doing some team drills in the summertime or maybe focus on the guys trying to get them to develop one new thing this summer to connect with for the fall to make life easier on you guys as you guys play the schedule coming to this next season here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. What you want to do is in these summer workouts, you have the ability to have the whole team in, and then you can break it down through individual workouts too, whether you want to do guards and bigs for lack of a better term, just to kind of simplify it. But my goal is that we're going to do a lot of team stuff. All right, you play 5-on-5. We're going to develop our skills. We're going to work on our weaknesses and strengthen our strengths. And we're definitely going to develop our skills and work on our skills. We're going to individualize our workouts this year when we're going the one-on-one type of deal. If one guy needs to work on going left, we're going to spend a lot of time on him going left or finishing at the rim. And then we're going to spend a lot of time as well doing it all together. So, we're all pieces of the puzzle. It's obviously a simple analogy, but we need to keep on putting that together every single week. We got to get used to each other, pushing each other, demanding of each other. And, that's just going to make all this so much greater when the pieces all truly come together and you see this picture of us having some success.
And non-conference schedule-wise, Coach, I know you it's probably done for next year. Outside of the guarantee games you have to play to raise money for the athletic department, how do you see yourself going about these games, trying to get 2-for-1s, get people come to play you? It's your place. You go there twice. The non-exempt tournaments, playing some high major schools as well. Some guys regionally. How do you see yourself going about that non-conference schedule going forward?
One of those things, in scheduling is so much about relationships. It really is. We were at Green Bay, and Tony Bennett played at Green Bay, and he was gracious enough to play us 2-for-1. So we went out to Virginia twice. He gave us a chance to kind of build our team. And the third year, he came back to Green Bay. And, Virginia's not coming to Green Bay very often. But he had, a great relationship with us on the staff and, had a special place in his heart. And, gave us an opportunity to say, okay, you built your team. And we ended up beating them. And, that was one of the years that they won the ACC. So those type of things can happen. I have a lot of relationships from being in this business for really my whole life. A lot of them are because of my dad and what he has done for me and building a reputation with my last name. And I always try to own up to or live up to what he has done. But those relationships from years ago are now some of those people putting those MTE tournaments, are called, the multi-team events. Where you're playing, multiple people in one location. And those relationships are huge in scheduling. So that's one of the things that you want to do. You want to go back to that old school way of thinking. It's like, all right, you're a good team, I'm a good team, let's go. I'll come to your place, you come to my place, let's play. Ultimately, that's what you want to do. You want to go play teams and have good games. And that comes along with, building your program, developing your players, and then, definitely utilizing those relationships where people are willing to come to your place.
And I remember your dad used to be at the Grizzlies, coach of the Grizzlies a few times. I know I've seen him on TV, so I'm pretty familiar with your dad, man. He did a great job with the Grizz, man. I used to watch their games on the League Pass there when it was at the Pyramid
Yep.
and the FedEx Forum. So I'm pretty aware of how your dad's history, man. So I was glad to have him on the show. So, how's your dad doing now? And I know he played a real key role in you being a coach, being in the industry you are right now.
He's a fighter. He's unfortunately, he was diagnosed right after the Memphis Grizzlies with lung cancer, and I guess cancer comes out of nowhere. So, but it's unexpected. You weren't, you didn't know how to handle it. What he has done is he's faced it head on, and he's going on 5 years, and he's at a part right now where he's got another opportunity to really face it head on again right now. Another difficult stage of this disease is kind of battling him, and he wakes up, and I got it's a great support with my mother and him. Every day they're more concerned about us as they're battling this nasty disease together and leading our family, and he's really prepared me my whole life, but especially these last several years for when this opportunity came, and it came this year, to really take it head on and face it head on and move forward. And although he's not down here in my office like I wish he could be, I wish right now he'd sit next to me on the couch. He's not able to do that these days. But I can still call, FaceTime, and go visit him, and and I see him, looking with pride in his eyes. That there's nothing that's going to change that feeling every time I see that.
And last one I got for you, Coach, is the barbecue in Memphis.
Yep.
What is your favorite barbecue spot in Memphis?
Man.
Mine has always been Neely's Barbecue. So I like the barbecue nachos. But what about you?
Jeez, I don't even know if I could give you an actual spot, because I would go down there and I would stay down on Beale, and I just remember because my parents lived over in Mud Island, so we'd be down there, and I'd be eating for about 2 or 3 straight days, and then I'd get out of there. And we had Memphis in May. My brother always had a tent with a couple of the other Grizzlies. So I don't even know what exact place I was eating, but I know it was all pretty darn good. I do know that.
Yes, and I love saying at the Hawks. I also work with the Atlanta Hawks, so we stay at the Westin on Beale Street there, and
Yep.
I walk up and down Beale Street getting barbecue all the time. The whole time I'm in Memphis, I take it back on the plane with me. It's just the shortest plane ride from Atlanta to Memphis ever, but still, I make sure I have a bunch of barbecue with me.
You can sneak some in real quick. It's great. I mean, it was one thing about my family too. We like to eat. So I was never. It was basketball and barbecue a lot of times when I went down there. And then there was some burger place right around Beale that had like the same grease it was getting cooked in for like the last 50 or 60 years. So not sure how healthy that is, but it was pretty darn good. I know that. I know.
Yeah, my doctor would scream. Yeah, my doctor would scream if he heard me eating some Memphis barbecue. But yeah, man, I love to eat as well. Coach, one thing to do is eat on the road when I'm with the Hawks, man. Best part of my gig is the food part.
You do. You go on those trips. People don't realize there's recruiting visits, and when you're traveling, it seems like all you're doing is eating half the time, so or more than half the time, and that's not always a bad thing.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach Barone, I wish you the best of luck up there in Edwardsville, Coach. We'll talk to you again in the fall, man, when season's about to tip off there and see how you guys are doing, man.
Call me anytime. I love your energy and passion, and it was a lot of fun talking to you. Please call anytime, and I thank you so much for having me on the show.
We'll do, Coach. We'll do, Coach. Thank you so much. Brian Barone, people, on the Bossman Show. Check those guys out up in Edwardsville, Illinois, right there by St. Louis. All right, folks, in the Gerald the Bossman Show, here with the coach of the Wofford Terriers over there in South Carolina, Coach Jay McAuley, a Georgia guy like us here in the studio and around the airways here at WDJY. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. How you guys doing?
Hey, Coach, we're doing great here, man. We can't complain one bit, man. I know you're doing really good, man. You're the head coach at Wofford now. Team had a great success this year, making the tournament over there, man. Coach Young did a great job with your program. Now you're taking it over there and keeping that train going now.
That's the plan, and just finishing up a busy semester. Obviously, we had a fantastic season, and a lot of things happened this past month that have been somewhat unexpected, but everybody's excited moving forward. We're finishing up recruiting and obviously trying to get these guys to finish up strong academically. So it's been a good ride these last couple of weeks.
It's the good thing about you getting the job, Coach. All the recruits you had your eyes on, relationships you've built since you've been in the program all these different years, are still there. You can still get the same guys you're targeting. Guys will feel comfortable with you. Now, just all different is now you're the head man now.
Yeah, there's definitely some familiarity, and the way our staff was set up, we were heavily involved with a lot of components of the program. So I think that's why the administration and our current players who are coming back felt so comfortable with me taking over. And we're going to try not to skip a beat. We're going to keep things moving along like we've done in the past. And, not a lot of things are broken here, so we don't plan on reinventing the wheel or trying to fix a lot of stuff.
Yes, indeed, especially the way you guys played this season out there, out in the SoCon. I saw y'all dominating teams out there in the SoCon, doing big things. Now, Coach, this is for you. Now, going from the assistant to the head coach, now the buck stops with you. So how's the adjustment being whether all the decisions stop at your doorstep now, rather than a suggestion to Coach Young? Now it's my decision going forward.
Yeah, I think, I've just tried to be myself. I'm not Coach Young. I'm Jay McAuley. I've got my own ways of doing things, but he was such a great mentor for me, and I've taken a lot of what he did along with other guys I worked for with me here these last couple weeks. And, just trying to be myself every day and trying to do what I think is best for our program. And, it's a little weird sitting in this new office. I still got to decorate it. It looks like a little prison cell right now, but I've got some things I've got to put up here on the walls because Coach Young had it all decked out, but that'll take some time,
Don't feel bad, Coach. In my office down the hall from the studio here, it's pretty much nothing there but a desk and a laptop. I have no pictures. I have nothing up in my office.
Yeah, I need my wife to come in here and decorate badly, but we're taking one thing at a time, and I'm just thrilled to have this opportunity. And our players are excited. The recruits that we've landed here in the last couple of weeks are excited. And obviously we're just trying to finish up strong and formulate a new schedule for next year that I think our fans are going to be really excited about. So life is good up here in Spartanburg.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, playing at Georgia, coaching at Wofford, of course, on 3 different occasions now. Well, now head coach, the third different job you had there with them, Gardner, Webb, and Furman. You kind of been in the same area of the country, the Southeast here, that Georgia, South Carolina area. So I feel like recruiting-wise, you have had years of a base relationships you can tap into to find good players to fit your program.
Sure, yeah. Recruiting's everything. In college athletics, if you don't have good players like you saw us have on the national stage this past season, you don't have a chance. And it's about knowing and blending, whatever school you're at, their mission with what you want to be about as a team. And I thought out of all the places I've been at, I've been able to pick up things here and there in recruiting. But here at Wofford, there's just such a special type of student athlete that values the education that we have, that understands we've got top-notch facilities and we're not afraid to go out and play anybody on the national stage. So it attracts a certain type of tough, high-character kid that we love being around. We worry a lot more about just ball than all the knucklehead stuff that you hear around in other programs, which is kind of a non-negotiable here, to be honest with you. So our culture is very strong right now. We plan on keeping it that way and hopefully playing for games that matter moving forward.
And, Coach, you can get players 5 different ways at your program. You get high school seniors, grad transfers who sit one and play 2 or 3 for you. Also, international guys, and you can get a JUCO guy because I mean you guys have that option to go all 5 ways, either be a first stop or second stop for a young man who's a second chance who may have messed up at the previous place, or they can play in town they wanted when they originally committed to.
Yeah, and other programs rely on those 5 a lot more than we do, but there are some avenues that we can get creative with. But where we've made our niche is really evaluating high school kids and what they're about and following them in the AAU circuit and making sure that they fit our culture and developing high school kids. We'll redshirt a few kids to make sure that we balance the classes, but it's pretty much a high school recruiting situation. And we'll grab a transfer here and there that wants to come be a part of our deal, but it's mainly a high school recruiting and evaluate and make sure that we're getting the guys that we want in this program. That's how we've been really good this last decade.
And which takes me to the next point I want to make is the player development piece with you guys. I noticed that you guys get guys and they get better each year. Incrementally, they get better in your program. And that's a major thing because at the mid-major level, you have to have those junior and seniors that lead your team if you want to be really good. And you got to do a great job of developing the guys you get. They're getting better each year. Their stats improve each year. And that whole player development piece is the biggest part to me of a program beyond and scheduling as well.
You're 100% correct. And we've developed 23 pros in the last decade. I mean, imagine that. At our level, the mid-major level, with all the transfers, the 850 to 900 Division I transfer epidemic that's going on, like, kids like being here. They like getting a degree here. They know we win. They know we develop. And at the end of their career, to know that they have the option to go play overseas or, in Fletcher's case, a chance to get drafted, and on top of that be set up with a profession earning a really good paycheck. I think that's why we've been successful. We've been able to keep guys here as opposed to guys bolting for other situations.
Exactly, and what also help you down was the 4-hour rule that they changed to give you guys 4 hours to work out in summertime and in the spring because the player development piece we talked about is very important. So getting them extra time to do some team stuff you want to in the individual drills, work on the guys going left, or if there's things that come off the screen or what have you, you got time to do it more than you had previously.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's funny you say that. We're trying to organize our summer plans this year, and we give the guys an option to go home 1 out of the 2 sessions. It's a long season. Obviously, we played all the way into March again. So we like giving them the flexibility to study abroad, go overseas, play in a foreign tour type deal, or just go home and train at their hometown. And I'm telling you, probably 80% of our roster is coming back to do both sessions. And it just goes to show you that it's a workman-like atmosphere here, and people want to be here year-round to train and, like you said, develop their skills.
Yes, indeed. And also, Coach, I can only imagine the scheduling piece is harder for you because your guys are good. I know at the mid-major level, how much you don't want to play you all because you're good. You know, they don't want to give you what you want. So,
the Lakers and the Knicks called me today. They want to play, but nobody else in Division I apparently wants to play the Terriers. So, if you know of anybody in Atlanta, give them my number. We got to get some games here because, you know, us beating a few really good teams the last few years because of the players we have has caused a few teams to hesitate to want to start a series or schedule a game with us. But that's a good problem to have. And we're not going to – listen, we played Kansas, North Carolina, you know, all these teams every year. We're not afraid to play them. We want to play them. We want to be on national TV. And I think it really makes us guys prepared for March, and that's why we advance. Not only just get there, we advance now. So that'll continue for sure moving forward.
Yes, indeed, because you all are being great in the league, and just in general, SoCon as a league is being good. You know, Steve Forbes does a great job at ETSU. You know, you have Wes doing a good job at Greensboro. I mean, you guys are I know we got Greg Gary down here at Mercer. I mean, but in the league, you see the quality of coaches and the teams there, man. And the league is getting better top to bottom as well. Lamont doing a good job with Chattanooga, and they got them going the right track. So as a league, talk about the league and how good the ball is getting as a whole from top to bottom there.
Yeah, I just think the league is very, very strong. The coaches in the league are fantastic. Now, obviously, I'm the new guy on the block. I've got a lot to prove. I get that. But the coaches returning and what they've done to build their programs is really impressive. And, you know, the players that we have that have gone on to win national awards, not just Southern Conference awards, but national awards, and go on to play long times for pro teams is impressive. And I think we've had the last 2 years, 4 teams in our 10-team conference have won 20 games or more. And obviously we had the longest win streak in the country, and we're the only team to go 21-0 in conference play. So I think that speaks volumes. I really do. So I couldn't agree more with you there.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, who are some coaches that really have a big impact on you to really help mold you and your coaching style going forward? Because I know you played at Georgia, you've been at Wofford multiple times, Gardner-Webb and Furman. What are those guys really meant to you? What did you take from those guys to kind of help you as you take on this role now going forward?
Well, my dad, number one, that's the reason why. And he didn't coach anything in high school or college, but just growing up and being around my dad and seeing how much he cared to develop, you know, friends of mine and other teammates, it started there. My drive and my competitiveness and my passion for it. And then just very lucky to have an internship, I called it, at UGA with, you know, Jim Herrick, who's won a national title and did things a certain way and was really, really good at connecting with people. And then on the other side, Dennis Felton, who won the last SEC championship in 2008 at Georgia, was very good teacher, organized, detailed. So I got 2 ends of the spectrum there that really helped me prepare myself so that when I became an assistant for the last 12 years, I was ready to go. And then obviously Holtman at Ohio State when I was with him at Gardner-Webb, and Nico Medved when he was at Furman, now he's at Colorado State. They've all advanced in their careers because they're winners and they're very successful teachers. So, you know, you blend that with Coach Young, who I think is the best in the business in all facets. He gets it. He's experienced. He's won. I've been very fortunate to be a part of winning programs and great people. And I'm just hoping that I can, you know, take a little bit from everybody and put it into my own system. And I think we can do that here for sure.
I remember when Dennis Felton won the NCAA championship at Georgia Tech. I remember that because I was there. I remember that.
You were there?
Toledo hit the Georgia Dome. We'd go over to Tech, and I remember that. I remember that very, very well. That march there.
That was wild, and they only let 250 people in there, so it felt like a scrimmage. And sure enough, it was just one of the magical weekends that happened in Atlanta, and just grateful to be a part of that, you know.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, that's I was how old was I then? 20-ish, 21-ish. During that time. So yeah,
Sure.
I remember that very, very well. Speaking of Atlanta, Coach, when you're back here in ATL, I know you're a Marietta guy back here in the Atlanta area. What is your favorite spot to grab something to eat at, man? Because I know we got all kind of great spots around here. Where's your favorite spot around here?
Wow, that's a great question. There's a lot of good spots. I recruit down there a lot, so you know, there's things downtown that I like to go to, and there's also some things out in Cobb County where I'm from that I'm a little biased to. But, you know, I'm a college coach, so I'm always on the move. The quicker I can get through something and get on the go and get to the next high school, that's kind of my deal. But you cannot go wrong in Atlanta or Marietta with the food options. There's always something good, and, you know, that's probably why I'm 20 pounds over my playing weight now, but we're working on that. So is my wife.
Hey man, look, when our studio is right here in Midtown Atlanta, so I'm always going up to Cobb County in the Cumberland Mall area, get something to eat. Marietta Diner a little bit, go up a little farther that way as well. So I'm over there, over 400 to go up Alpharetta all the time, get something to eat out that way, man. I love to eat, man. I love going up and down 400 towards 85 and keep snacking while I'm in town. Because my house is in Starbridge, so when I'm up this way, I got to make sure I make it count.
You're telling me, JR, there's a ton out there, and that's why we love recruiting there. Being only 2.5 hours from Atlanta, it's a significant recruiting hotbed for us. So we'll continue to be down there.
Yes, indeed. Well, I know you're going to keep it going because I know you're a Georgia guy. I know you already know what's down here, and he's been in his backyard, right in your backyard. These great players we have here. So look forward to talking to you again, Coach McAuley, down the road, man. Best of luck to you. I'm glad you got the job. Always good to see a fellow Georgian doing well in the college basketball scene.
Yeah, JR, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. I enjoy your show, and anything we can do up here to help, just let me know.
We'll do, Coach McAuley, anytime, buddy.
Awesome. Take care. Have a good day.
You too now.